Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to take you through the most confusing similar terms of PMP. As I mentioned in my previous video, part 1, these terms will help you to attend the situational questions in the final exam in a better way. Coming to slide number 1, point number 1, project life cycle versus product life cycle. Project life cycle is a collection of sequential overlapping project phases which are determined by project control needs of the organization. Project life cycle may include but not limited to analysis, design, development, testing, launch and closure of the project. Coming to the product life cycle focuses primarily on the product, that is the deliverables of the project. Product life cycle consists of sequential and non-overlapping phases including ideation, creation, introduction, growth, maturity, decline and retirement of the product. Coming to point number 2, project team versus project management team. Project team is all the human resources involved in the project. Project manager is one of them. Project management team includes only the human resources responsible for managing and controlling the project. Here also project manager is one of them. Coming to the cost reimbursable, fixed price and time and material contracts, aspirants would need to remember that three major types of contracts as I mentioned are most critical and you can expect few questions in the final exam. Cost reimbursable, that is cost plus contract, is a risk on buyer for complex not well defined projects. Fixed price contract, it is risk on seller for simple well defined projects. And coming to time and material, that is unit price, risk similar on both sides, usually for small projects or there is a thirst between the two parties. You can expect some questions, they will give you the scenario and you should identify which contract is suitable for the project. And coming to the fourth point, product quality and project quality. Product quality is concerned about the conformance of the deliverables to predefined requirements and standards. Project quality is about the conformance of the management execution of the project to pre-approved process. It is very simple. Product quality is about the deliverables. Project quality is about the pre-approved processes. Coming to the fifth point, free float versus total float. Free float is the amount of time an activity can be freely delayed without affecting the early start of the successor activity. Total float is the total amount of time an activity can be delayed without affecting the overall project finish date. You have to be clear on this free float and total float concept. You can expect some question which is critical on the CPM formulas. So this is about the point slide number 1. Coming to slide number 2, cost of conformance versus cost of non-conformance. Cost of conformance, this is the cost incurred by carrying out activities to ensure the project and deliverables conform to the quality requirements and avoid failure. That is building quality into the project processes. This is prevention cost or appraisal cost. Coming to cost of non-conformance, this is the money that needs to be spent for non-conforming to the quality requirements. For example, this is internal failure cost and external failure cost. Coming to the work package versus activity, work package is the lowest level element of the WBS, that is work breakdown structure through decomposition of the project scope in the create WBS process. One work package can contain many activities which are to be performed by one or more project team members, and activity is a small enough unit of work that needs to be carried out to fulfill the project scope. The work package is further decomposed into activities which are to be entered into the activity list. Coming to the point number 8, contingency reserve versus management reserve. Contingency reserves are money added to the project cost estimates by the project manager for uncertain events, risks that might happen. This is also known as known unknowns. And coming to management reserves are money added to the project overall budget by the senior management for uncertain events that are not even thought of, also known as unknown unknowns, that is, risk not shown in the risk register which are not anticipated. Coming to the point number 9, quality control versus quality assurance. Quality control is in the monitoring and controlling process group and is concerned with the quality of the products or deliverables. Its major aim is to ensure the correctness and check for defects in the product or deliverables. Quality assurance is in the executing process group, is concerned about the processes. Its major aim is to avoid defects in products, deliverables at all by assessing the effectiveness of current quality control processes and issue change request as necessary to correct any defects in the processes. In exam, if you get quality control, it is related to product or deliverables. If it is about quality assurance, then it is about the processes. Coming to slide number 3, fallback versus workaround. Fallback is pre-developed risk response strategies for identified risk in order to protect the original project plan. The cost to deal with identified risk are included in the contingency reserves. Coming to workaround is immediate risk response strategies for unidentified risk or identified risks that have been accepted passively. In order to contain the damages to the project plan, the cost deal with unidentified risk can be obtained from the management reserve upon management approval. You can expect some questions on this. They will give some scenarios wherein you have to choose the option which one to select. And coming to cost baseline versus cost budget. Cost baseline is the authorized time phased spending plan for the project on which the project cost performance is to be measured against. Cost baseline is equal to project cost estimates plus contingency reserves. This is represented as an S curve. Cost budget. The cost budget is the estimate of total amount of money required for carrying out the project, including money set aside for identified and unidentified risks, that is unknown unknowns. Cost budget is equal to project cost estimates plus contingency reserves plus management reserves. This is nothing but cost baseline plus management reserves. Whenever you get unknown unknowns, then you have to go to the sponsor to get their approval to use the management reserves. Coming to the fast tracking versus crashing. Fast tracking is to carry out activities originally in sequence to be in parallel, partial or whole. Crashing is to add extra resources to shorten the normal duration of the activities. You can expect more questions on this terms. Fast tracking is preferred over crashing as the former does not involve extra resources and cost which would affect the project budget performance. Coming to residual risk versus secondary risk. Residual risk or risk that are left over after implementing a risk response. Secondary risk or risk that are created directly by implementing a risk response. Coming to the project scope versus product scope. Project scope includes all the work required to deliver the required project product, service or results, collectively known as deliverables. Product scope includes the features and functions of the required product, service or results from the project. Coming to slide number 4, assumptions versus constraints versus requirements. Assumptions. There are factors that are used in planning process to allow plans to be created with reasonable details. Without those assumptions, forecasts and budgets cannot be made. Assumptions are reasonably believed to be true based on experience, lessons learned, knowledge or information at hand. Constraints. These are factors that need to be taken into account when planning the project. Constraints are mostly restrictions imposed on the project. However, with good planning, constraints can be a real benefit to boost effectiveness and efficiency. Coming to requirements, these are features, capabilities, products, deliverables that expected to be delivered from the project as interim or end results. Coming to corrective actions versus preventive actions. Corrective actions, these are actions taken when the product deviates from the scope, schedule, cost or quality plan in order to bring the project performance back to the business baselines. Corrective actions are reactive actions. Preventive actions, these are actions taken when the project is likely to trend away from the scope, schedule, cost or quality plan to ensure the project performance is aligned to the baselines. Preventive actions are always proactive actions. Coming to statement of work versus project scope statement. Statement of work is also known as project statement of work to distinguish with procurement statement of work. Is a document including the high level description of the intended deliverables of the project. Project scope statement, a document including more details than project statement of work on the scope and deliverables of the project. Major assumptions and constraints are also added if appropriate. Coming to quality and grade, a measure of how the product conforms to the requirement or fit for the expected use level. Grade, a measure of which level the product is expected to perform. I have covered almost 90 terms in my part 1 and part 2 videos. I suggest PMP aspirants to revisit these videos 2 days before the exam. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any doubts, please drop your queries in the comment below, or you can reach me at my LinkedIn, which I have given in the description.